As of recording this, it's actually Sunday the 26th of June, but I leave America in a few short hours to return to the drudgery and normality of life. I want to record this while I'm still at VidCon and while the feelings are still fresh and real and experiences are in my head. So we're going to talk about VidCon stories. This was my first year at VidCon, and won't be the last, but whether I'll do it next year is a case of whether I have the money and the time to dedicate and maybe plan it a bit better and spend more time in the States instead of a week. I've had an amazing week. So before I touch on VidCon, I'm going to talk about Chicago first, because that's where I spent the first few days visiting a friend, a guy called Eric.
My favorite part of this entire trip and your entire existence here is finding out that Ben & Jerry's has a vegan peanut butter and cookie ice cream shake that I can get.
Well, that makes
and I guess you.
I've always said to him, I'm going to visit him, but we both didn't take it overly seriously because obviously it's a long distance, but then I did, and it surprised him and shocked him as much as it did me that it actually happened. And he said when we met it was very surreal that I was stood in there in his kitchen. He and I are so alike in so many ways. It's just like having another version of me, only lankier and American and skinnier and can eat like a horse. Can't drink for shit though. I've got that over him. We kind of tested the waters a little bit, because when you meet someone for the first time, doesn't matter how well you know them online, you might not know them so well once you in person, you know, it might be very awkward. And I've had that situation where I've been really close with someone online and I've got to know them in person, and it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel the same. But Eric, there was none of that. We just fell instantly into this rapport and this dynamic. Chicago was amazing. I walked around and saw Lake Michigan and Millennium Park and so many other things. Had a traditional Chicago hot dog, which is apparently one of the things I had to do there. I drank a bottle of whiskey to myself the night I got there after being traveling for like 13 hours. I was still not tired. Didn't have that much sleep either, then walked around for so many hours, got sunburnt. But then VidCon happened, and I'm going to make this clear. I said from the outset I was coming because of the people here, and I was not disappointed. VidCon itself was fantastic. The panels were so informative, and people spoke with such passion. Some things was a little bit generic, like believe in yourself and do you. But it's the people. It's purely the people. Now, I thought I would spend the entire 3 days hanging around with nerd fighters, which, don't get me wrong, that would have been just fine, fantastic, because I've had first meetings with quite a few people. The first meeting was Womar, obviously. I met him at the airport, and then we travelled downstairs to the hotel. It was not until the next day I started meeting people, and I think the first person I saw was Bryce off NerdSync, who was walking the opposite direction. He'd just got his pass, I think, and was walking the other way, and I was walking towards, and we both stared each other out, not sure if it was us, because we'd not met before, we'd not really interacted that much. We just sort of worked together and kind of on NerdSync, but our bits are separate, because I do this, like, help with the YouTube side of it, he does the audio podcast side of it and the streaming side. So inside the convention centre, outside the expo hall, and then I hear somebody yell something, I turn around, and there's DK running up to me, hug, like, real tight hug, and that was an incredible first sight. Then Tyler, who was currently volunteering, we were stood upstairs in the creators area, and again I just turn around and I see Tyler walking up to a big grin on his face with his hipster beard, walks up, hugs, and then it just happened again and again and again, meeting more and more people. And I ran into Liz in the Creator Lounge, and Maya, and Matt Palker, obviously. He's a really nice dude who actually recorded a video with him at some point, so I'll have to edit that when I get home. Then I ran into the NerdSync guys, Scott and Bryce, who I kind of ran into, but them two were stood aside along with DK, and then DK saw me, stood talking to two other people, and then DK came over, shook my hand, introduced Scott, and that was it. I spent nearly the next 2 full days with either DK, Scott, Bryce, Ron, who is Binge Watcher's channel, who I've met, and he's from Israel, and he is a funny guy, and he's kind of joined DK's group. I also met the Boss Level 8 guys, who are 2 really creative and talented people who are on the up and up. And I also met the Super Carlin brothers, who had nice things to say to me, because I helped DK out a bit to get to VidCon, and then I just spent 2 days hanging around with that group, either a few of them or all of them. Bryce especially, he tagged along with me when I met Nathan and Rose, and then we went for a drink, and then we went to do various things. Nathan and Rose, they're another 2 that I met weirdly, actually, because I was sat in a panel with Scott and Bryce, and I was sat on the end of the row. There's 1 seat left, and then I saw this guy just walk past on his own. I think he was just trying to find a seat, and it was Nathan, and I thought, huh. And he walked all the way around the block, sat on the far side of the far side, if that makes sense. And then I messaged him, said 3 rows back, and then he stood up like a meerkat, was looking around like this, saw me, ignored everyone else, just ran all the way around, threw his arms around me, then went, Dave, it's great you're here. Well, I've left my stuff, 1 minute. Then ran all the way back, grabbed his stuff, came back. He was enthusiastic like a child. It was amazing. And then he sat next to me. Then Rose came in halfway through. She must have finished on her panel or something. And then she was really excited. And this is what I find surprising, is that people are so genuinely happy to meet me. Because to me, I just do what you'd expect and hope that people would do, like be happy for each other and to do things for each other. And then people start telling me they've met people because of me, or that, like Nathan and Rose met DK through me, who then introduced them to the Boss Level 8 guys and the Super Callan brothers, and their network expanded just because of knowing me. And I knew DK from Nile, so it's mad how that happens. And then other people have met because of me, blah, blah, blah. And it's just, wow. I don't want to sound like I'm blowing my own horn here, but I've had an effect on people, and it's something I can never get my head around. This channel, people know different people because of this channel. We had an NFI meetup, and there was 30 people there or so, and there's footage of that. People doing the Hankler dance, whatever they want to call it. It was incredible. And that's not to mention the NFI meet that happened. Originally there was a Nerdfighter panel thing. Turns out there was homework involved. They were passing around papers and telling us to draw stuff, and we just wanted to hang out as a channel, so we left. But as we left, we took the Nerdfighters in NFI with us. There was so many of us, but then other people left with us and then just randomly sat outside with us. So there ended up being about 30 Nerdfighters out there, both people on and off the channel. And that was a really odd thing. Not bad, just odd. And we started to scare people a little bit because we were a bit rowdy in the hallway, and we were shouting all the Nerdfighters and taking big group pictures and just having a laugh. That's my VidCon story. That's my VidCon ramble. DFTBA, and Pat, we'll see you tomorrow.